Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you 30 minutes of a 3-hour video lesson, which is on painting these flowers here. This is a set of flowers of, they're called Just Joey hybrid tea roses that I created in Photoshop. And then I show you how to take a Photoshop painting using a tonal Alla Prima or Premier Coup technique to paint these flowers. I paint this entire painting here in less than 3 hours. So I'm going to show you a 30-minute video clip on the painting of this one, this tea rose back up here on the top. It's very important, okay? I know I show you guys a lot here on the channel. And I explain a lot of things to you, and I know some of you in different languages and stuff, it's hard to do. I am a tonal acrylic painter. I do very little blending. And so this video will show you a little bit more insight about what I teach in my online classes and how I teach your eye to see tones. We're going to paint this with what is a very famous palette. Those of you that have gone to fine art school will understand this. It's called the Anders Zorn palette, and I use it slightly modified so I can get some a little bit more warm and cool, and I explain about that during the class as well. So this is a 30-minute or so. I hope you like it. I hope you click like. Hope you hit the comments and write some comments on it. I get some crazy ones. I posted a photo of this up on Instagram, and I got some crazy comments on there. Like one person wrote on there, "Oh, that's just a waste of paint. You must spend so much paint. It takes too long to paint." I filmed the entire thing. Every stroke of this painting is less than actually 3 hours to paint it, and I use about $4 worth of paint. So there's a lot of education I feel I need to do out there about what acrylic tonal painters can do, and you know how wonderful the technique is. We do very little blending, and we paint very, very fast. Finish up something very, very fast. Okay, so hopefully click like and hit a comment down there. Those of you who will be joining me this next week, I just posted the very first one. We've got all kinds of birds. I've got all kinds of birds lined up. We're going to do our bird challenge, and I'm going to show you all kinds of painting bird techniques. So hopefully subscribe to the channel, click like, leave a comment down below and stuff, because I like to read those, and artists need to have a conversation. Okay, it's a lot of fun. Okay, so let's go into this video. This is video 3 of a 4-video set in the classroom, and we'll be painting that flower right back there. Okay, let's go take a look. Okay everyone, hi, welcome back. We're on video number 3. I did go through and add just a little bit more. Forgot to add some more down into here, but I'm going to have to anyway after I finish working this, add some more lights and stuff like that. Final little bits of things that you want to do. But I did come through and add just a little more yellow, a little more light to the flower. Got it a little closer. Let's go up and look at this one up here. Now again, you can paint with a larger, like an 8 or down to number 6. I've been doing a lot with the 6. I think maybe I'll keep on with the 6. And you know how much blending and stuff you do on it is up to you. We do petal edging technique. We're just going to go through, pick out some of our lights. Let's pick out some lights. I like to start on the outside, then come in. There's some nice light right up there on the outside. Slightly redder this time. Okay, so all this is pretty much dry in here, so I'll just work up on top of it. A little bit more red, bit of yellow, maybe a soft yellow oxide with this red, so more of a peachy red color yellow oxide does. A little bit cool here, so just a touch of the red violet. Let's get the value up though, right around, so at least a 7 or so. Let's try up there. It's going to dry down. Maybe we'll go up towards 8. It's up closer to an 8 up there. So let's go up just a bit, and we can always go back down. Let's put in the edge here, and that nice light. That's a nice light. It could go a bit lighter. You can see it a little bit lighter. Can you see that? And so I could probably go up to a good 8.5 here. Nice light, give a little bit of calligraphy there. Let's get some red and a bit of black and a bit of violet here. Let's make a medium tone. Maybe a touch of yellow into that. here as more of a shadowy tone back in here. And just work those two together there for some movement. That's pretty movement right in there. Boy, I like it. You know, that I got just a bit of the transparency coming through there, and I like that too. Forget that we could add some of that stuff. That's all going to be part of your you know, your technique that you decide to do. Let's pull out, push and pull those colors there. A bit lighter. Right on that edge helps that petal separation. Leave some brush calligraphy there, though. Leave some calligraphy. I like that. The two color tones. It could have a touch more yellow. You can start instituting a little bit of harmony, just a bit of yellow into that, and that would tie those two flowers together a little closer. Okay, let's come back slightly darker. Slightly grayer here, so a little bit of that red violet and that black here. Let's do that petal edging here. Just run that right around here, little tips of it. Darken it down a bit. Just pull in. Maybe a bit of that yellow over here. You'll see a bit of that yellowy tone right in there. Bit more pink right up in here, and it should be a bit darker than that. So kind of find the tone. You have to, you know, you're never going to be able to make the tone exact because we're working with a very limited palette, but you can come pretty darn close because of our choice of the flowers that we're painting here. A little lighter and grayer. Pull that in and out. Leave a bit of the edge there. It's good. Now, I have that calligraphy wrong. Those are coming in this way. There. Some of those flower veins. A little light, a little more yellow and warmer peach kind of color over to the other side over here. So let's come right back in here. There's a little loop of that one. One right out over here. Just push in and out a bit. Let that one come right, that nice warm, come right in front of that back cool. That looks nice. Right in there like that. Let's continue out and around here. So that was this one, and one comes right out here. Let's take this nice light and then drop it down. I'm going to add just a bit of extender. Let's cool it down, but it's actually a cooler yellow, little yellow with it. Yeah, that's pretty darn close. Not too bad. And then I just push for, if I don't have a good calligraphy, I push a bit with the brush to give it a little bit of calligraphy. Now that tip of it could be a touch lighter, so I'll give that. And I'm going to leave that according to my light source, even though I'm changing the light source just a little, but I do like that kind of peeking out and hitting the light. If I leave it that light, though, I really need to express this light just a touch more, because these are closer to where the light is coming in on that side, so we'll need to touch those a little bit more. You give that light little edge there. That works. I like this next petal. It's got, let's put a bit of extender into that. It's got multiple tones coming out here. So I'm going to put on a little bit of that. We're going to go grab some peachy kind of color, some red and some yellow. Grab that in there. And we'll cool this off, red and red violet. A bit deeper in here. See, I can manipulate those tones, and what I really like to do is then just kind of incorporate them together, shear them together, pushing like that, so I get a bit of movement. I like that. Now I'm going to gray this because there's a cast kind of shadow on this lower part over here. So I'm going to gray that here, and a little bit of black into that with some white. Grays that tone down, makes a nice tone, and that gray really is a nice tone. Could come over here. Excuse me. Touch of it over there. And let's go to yellow and red, that nice warm peachy color. Let's put some of that right in there. Gray it just a bit. A little bit of light, but gray slightly. See, those are beautiful tones together in for that leaf, or that petal. It's real pretty tones. Now let's get more yellow, a little Hansa over here, and a little white. So it's lighter yellow, warmer, right out here where it's hitting the light. Grab some more of that. You can ruffle up the edge a bit there, like that. We could give that more of a light petal edging technique there. And softer peach color here. Right in there. Let's go more red violet here. Maybe touch of black. Right in here. That touch of black may not be needed. It's not really needed. Grab that. Could be a bit brighter. See, just a touch. So red violet. No black this time. See, it's just a touch brighter. Sometimes just let those just run like that, because they work. Here, put a bit of that light there on that edge. Good. All right, so let's get a bit deeper, darker, touch of black. Red violet, touch of black. Back up in here. Will it really accentuate that dark, and look what it does for the bowl of that rose. Let's get it warmer, just a bit more red. Come out. So you see, you evolve your tones. You know where your shadows are, and this is part of it, guys. You know where your shadows are. You know what's going to happen to that color. Every time you study a painting, start to study, what's happening to the colors as they're coming out of shadow and into light. Start to learn that. Start to see that. And, that's what I do all the time now, like when I paint just simple little roses, with your little rose challenge or something. And because I've painted so many of these types of setups, of colors and setups, that I've seen those colors change and evolve, and I know what's going to happen. And I can make this appear deeper in there. I know how to do that. And that's what we do. I'm going to put a little more deep color right in there. And again, that forces this yellow one forward. Let's go more towards the red. And red plus a bit of yellow over here. Right in there, put those tones together. And if you don't like using your hands to do that, you could use a brush. I show you, several of you just take a wet brush and run it through, and that works really nice as well. Okay, so let's take a little red violet here and restate that nice deep red that's happening in there. Get a little more color going on in there. And that's kind of pretty. Bit more red. So you see it actually paints it's not too slow to be this precision, you know, with the tones. You can go pretty quick. You know, it's just and it's kind of fun. Find the tones and paint them. But like I say, you could also, I'd love to paint this one a little more casual, you know, and what I mean by casual is I'll take inspiration from the painting here, but there's just, you know, I wouldn't copy it at all. I'll take just inspiration, and what we do is we kind of squint down, see the shapes, and but we don't copy the shapes at all. And I like doing that. That's where I get the most creative. Just opening that up just a touch more. There. Yeah, and there's add a little black to this. There's a kind of a gray to petal way back here. Kind of hard to see. So I'm just going to indicate it, and then take a bit of light right with this one right down through there. Indicate that. Bit more light and stuff right onto that one. So we'll push that one to the front there. Like that. This edge. And it comes down through a little half-tone darker red right down here. Yeah, that's better. A little brighter than what it is over there, but it's okay. I don't always try to hit it too precise. Then that starts to make it too stiff. You've got to have a little bit of artistic freedom in there as well. All right, let's move right into that center. And I'm going to model up this center a little bit more. It has some big petals in there. I'm going to model some yellows and some reds kind of in here. And get some nice movement going down. And let's get a little more yellow, a little light. And see, I'll push and pull and just get some color interaction going in there. And just adding some interest, some brush, you know, modeling and calligraphy in there. Tapping and movement, just nice color movement in there. And some softer orange here. Down here. Let's pull some of that around. Just get some of that coloring in there. That's good. A little bit more red. There. Pick out that bigger petal there. And maybe just a bit of it back in here. There. Bit of that red, that's a nice red. Bit of that red coming up and around. We're going to have some smaller petals in there. We'll use the petal edging technique to kind of draw them in. Just get some color in there for right now. Like this little orange. Bit of that travels back there. Let's get a red violet. Deeper color down through here. I'm going to make it a little darker than what it is on the original one. We'll grab some of the red and yellow and some light here. Pull in the kind of the lighter petals. up front. There's an arched one here. Right like that. Now, this is where I not always, but I will sometimes back paint up to. Take the shadow and pull down. There. Let's leave a nice edge of light here. Boom. And put a bit of dark right along the edge there. There, like that. So, now I could have that just a bit warmer orange, lighter, warmer orange. Pulling right down through there. Push the shadow up a bit. There. That's good. Just get the tones closer, then start narrowing down your eye a little bit more. A little more concerned about the tone. Get it a little closer, a little closer. Figure it out. But leave always, I've found I always leave some of those early tones just showing here and there, because that just adds so much interest to your flowers, And I like it. Okay, let's get this a little bit lighter. Nice little. Now my 6 here doesn't really have a great edge on it, so I may go down here. Grab my 4. This is a newer number 4. It has a better edge on it. I can roll over on that edge and put that edge in better. So we'll go to a 2-brush technique here. There. Let's put a little bit of red violet into that. A little bit of gray, just a touch. Here, lighter, softer, grayer. There we go. Let's push. Like that kind of pushing movement into the flower there. That light could come down a bit lower. There, like that. That's kind of pretty. Get some of that light there. Let's just edge just a tiny bit here. And we'll draw up some of these petals here. Let's soften that. And I flipped to softening it with my 4. There we go. That's good. Let's put a bit lighter. So, the danger of a real small brush is that you get the painting too stiff. So as long as you don't hover around in an area trying to make the petals perfect, you'll be okay with a small brush. Just move fast and be decisive with it so that you don't get a lot of the same petals. And you're all right. Let's just soften that with a little red. Right in there like that. That's kind of pretty. Now, mine is not quite as orange. That's easy to fix. Let's just take some Hansa yellow, make ourselves some orange, and just paint back a bit of orange into the flower. Tap in some darks there, and let's go a softer light into that. There we go. A little more yellow. Red is that orange. Touch of light. Let's just put a bit more orange. You can watch that for the amount of light as well. Do you need to have some more light or light edges? There. Put a soft little stroke or two of the orange in there. So I see it just gently takes it more orange. I'm kind of liking the color of it though. And how much you do though, again, like I say, for everything is up to you. Here I'm kind of liking what's happening here, but the orange is making it a better harmony with the other flower. And you know, like I said with the last one, take that color. You can take some of this beautiful orange, this nice soft orange, and whisper some of that into this flower as well, to just little touches of it, and you'll get a better harmony happening back and forth between those flowers as well. Here's a nice light little edge. This one's coming right along here, and it comes right down through there. So now we'll take a bit of our red and maybe a soft yellow oxide here. Deeper color. Paint back up towards that edge. A little bit of red violet in that, so it's a bit darker, so we hit that shadow over here. There we go. Let's pop up that edge. Touch more. And got the wrong edge coming down in through the center there. But if you like your flower, that's okay. But this edge comes down through there. Just kind of twist that in. Like I say, if you like your flower, though, because when it's all said and done, your flower's correct, right? That's the way it is. When it's all said and done, your flower's the correct one. Take this light, soft orange, and increase the light right up in here. Remember, your acrylics dry down. Dry a little darker. That's not a hard thing. You just paint a little lighter, or you have to come back and hit it a couple times. But, you know, especially if you're painting really wet, or if you're painting globally, you'll notice your colors dry a little bit darker. I like to, you know, when I paint with the dry, it doesn't happen to me that much because I'm, you know, painting, and you're watching the painting dry as you're painting, so you're adjusting it as it's drying. So a little more color there. Let's get a bit darker here. Right up in there, that pulls that through. That looks pretty good comparatively there. Might, again, want some brighter orange and a little darker reds here and there. Deeper reds. So right down through here, a little deeper red. And we'll touch some of that right down in through here. Not quite as violet. More red. Let's get a bit of a darker orange as well up there. More yellow. It's kind of fun. This is the, you know, I enjoy, you know, just taking my time and finding some of the tones and putting them in here and creating some really pretty flowers that have a lot of tone manipulation in them. I do like that a lot. Okay, so I'm going to let, well, let's see. There's a real light petal back here that actually, if we get it kind of light, that really helps the light source. So this, after you get some of that on, you know, it affects some of your other petals. You might see some that need a bit of adjusting. But some of that adjusting, you might consider waiting until we get the final bit on the background too. So, but you know, it's like take it a step closer here. We get it a little closer. There's an angled petal here that I forgot that's kind of a fun little one. There. And let's angle this one out. That light on it. I usually do the rolled edges and some of these lights like this towards the very end. That's what I like, but you can do them anytime. Just put that nice edge and then right up against that shadow. Don't blend it out too much. You know, there's kind of a harsh line right between the light and shadow right there. You know, because it's cutting off. The petal's cutting. The angle of it is really kind of sharp. There we go. That's better. And let's get just a bit of that shadow underneath there, a little more red. Underneath there. There we go. Lighten this up. I do like some of that modeling of tone in there, though. That's kind of pretty in there. Okay, so there's this one right here. Let's put the light edge on it, and then we'll go paint those wild roses here. So we'll get the nice light little edge here. So I'll put that edge on, and then we'll come back up towards a half tone, right up by it, and just take those together there. And then let's get more red and a little red violet and push those in and just model that just a bit, just incorporate those together a bit. And now if this edge is too light, we can just brush through just a little bit like that, seeing it just takes it out. Okay. This light edge though could be on this one a touch more, right around like that, maybe a little bit more over here, put a softer half tone, orange, soften it out. Okay, so the flower's closer. It's not perfect. Let's take a look at it in that. I like that sitting back there. So it's not perfect, but it's a heck of a lot closer. And a little bit of refinement we can do with that bit of refinement, okay? So that's how I would approach that particular flower. And, you know, you might look at it again for like some of this light or something. But we'll come back at the end of this and hit it again. So, but a little bit of light. But I want to manipulate the background and stuff like that, and get some leaves going and get some other things going, and you know, quite possibly, you know, brighten up, like take some of this naphtha red light, quite possibly here, and maybe naphtha red light and some Hansa, real bright kind of orange. Yeah, that's good. Get some of that tone in there. Now remember, it will dry down a bit, but see, that's kind of a better tone in there. A bit of that in there, and down in through there, like just a bit of that, and maybe a touch over here of the red violet. See those tones working together there? Yeah, so probably add a little bit of that. I'm just going to add a little bit of that right around the center, and then we'll just go over to the next video. We've got to go catch up those that are that may have skipped number 3, this one, to give it a try, and then we'll go paint this, and our backgrounds and our leaves. Okay? All right, so one more video.